Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA, and today's real user review, we're going to take a look at the Huckberry Danner Mountain Moc 917 boot. Huckberry did send me this boot for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Huckberry or Danner prior to publication. They will see this when you do. So this boot has been out now just about a month. This is a new collaboration, limited edition boot. I've been wearing this for about 3 weeks, just about every single day. I've worn it in a variety of settings. One setting I did not wear this in. I haven't worn this hiking or on the trail or anything like that. But I do intend on actually wearing this one on the trail, and we're doing some camping in a couple of months. So I'm going to take this with me as a camp shoe, see how that handles. But I have been wearing this to work. I've been wearing this casually. I've been wearing this running errands. I've been wearing this walking the dog. So I have had this on my foot for an extended period of time over the past 3 weeks. So we're going to talk a lot about it. But before we get into all that, let's give you some of the nitty-gritty and the specs of the boot. The Huckberry Danner Mountain Moc 917 comes in at $220 USD. It only comes in the bone brown colorway. This design is based off of Danner's 1960s canoe moc shoe. The Mountain Moc is a true hybrid boot. It is a combination of a moccasin and a chukka boot. It does feature a Gore-Tex liner, a removable Ortholite footbed, a Vibram SPE midsole, and a Vibram 917 outsole. The boot is made from a mix of full cow grain leather and suede. It features Danner's 365-day warranty and is also eligible for Danner's recrafting services. And this boot is made in Vietnam. So my initial thoughts on this boot was, this is a very interesting boot. This is very different. This is very unique. I had never seen Danner's 1960 canoe moc until I looked it up, and that's where this like X stitching comes from. It comes directly from that 60s style canoe moc boot that Danner made. It was incorporated into this. We have this chukka style upper with the cuff and everything like that. So when I saw it, I thought it was very interesting. I am used to the 917 sole and the midsole, because this is the same midsole and sole that is on the Huckberry Danner Lager Moc 917. So it was a little interesting to me at first when I saw this on the Lager Moc, but having worn the Lager Moc for a while, I'm used to the midsole on it. So that really didn't do too much to me, but the overall aesthetic of the blend with the cowhide stitched to the suede with this like moccasin and chukka style, that was a little bit different. It's a little unique. I didn't find it like, it wasn't necessarily something I didn't want to wear. It was just something that was like, oh, that's incredibly interesting. I have never seen a boot that looked like that before. This is interesting. I'm really interested in taking a look at it, feeling it, wearing it, seeing how it feels on my feet, seeing how it feels in the hands, seeing how it looks, because you know, when you look down at a boot, it definitely looks completely different than when you're looking at a boot profile. So when you're wearing them and looking down at your feet, you get a whole completely different perspective of a shoe, of a boot, than you do when you're looking at them on a website or on someone else, because you get a full profile view. It always looks different than when you get that full straight down shot. So wearing them and looking at them and laying hands on them for the very first time, it was very interesting. And I like the boot. Overall, it was a very intriguing boot to me, and I was very pleased that I got a chance to check it out and take a look at it. So fit, feel, and finish of this boot. So I had a lot of people say it feels like a sneaker, it fits like a sneaker. I didn't really find that with the Mountain Moc. The Lager Moc I definitely thought felt like I was wearing a sneaker. Now they do have the same midsole and sole on them, the 917 sole. So I was used to it, but this is not as snug of a fit as the Lager Moc is. This is definitely I don't want to say relaxed, because it wasn't like a sloppy, it wasn't relaxed, I didn't have like a ton of room, but it was definitely not as snug. Like, it wasn't like a tight hug of a fit like the Lager Moc. So I didn't feel like this was fitting me like a sneaker, but I definitely will say it didn't really feel like I was wearing like a boot. I wasn't, because it doesn't have, you know, a big lager heel or anything on it. So I didn't feel like I was wearing like a work boot, but I certainly didn't feel like I was wearing a sneaker, but it was very comfortable. I have worn this for 12, 13 hours a day at work. The weather's been crazy here. We've had some nice days, we've had some crappy days. So I have been doing a lot of shoots, doing some running in these outside, mostly doing some city shoots and stuff like that. So I have been wearing these quite a bit, putting a lot of miles on them. And I can't say that they do feel very comfortable. These are a size 9, which is my true size. I generally wear a 9 in both a boot and a sneaker, unless the boot tells me to size up or down based upon the fit or cut of the last that the boot is made out of, then I'll size accordingly. But generally, I buy a size 9 in everything, and that's usually what fits me really, really well. So this was a size 9, and it fits great. I didn't feel like I needed to jump up or not. I know some people think Danners do fit a little bit snug, but I did have an 8.5 in the Logger Moc, which I felt like was a very snug fitting boot, and that still fit me pretty good. And this is the 9, and this still fit me really, really well. So I did not have to upsize a half a size. So the fit was really pretty, I felt like it was pretty spot on. 9 for me, 9 in the boot, worked out great. Again, I wore these for about 10 to 12 hours in a clip. Not every day, but a couple of the days. You know, I was definitely putting in some long hours, both at work. I'd come home, I'd start cooking dinner, or I'd start running errands. I'd be walking the dog. I'm out and about. I just didn't have time to even take my shoes off. So the boots stayed on my feet from sometimes 7 in the morning till, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night. And I was fine. I didn't feel fatigued. My feet weren't sore. I didn't get any blisters or any hot spots in them. So wearing them for an extended period of time, I found them to be very, very comfortable. Now, there are a few stylistic points to this boot besides the very obvious cross stitching that I want to point out. We do have some embossed Danner Huckberry logo on the tongue and the cross on the heel. We do have the Danner logo as well embossed on the heel of the boot. So we have 2 pieces of branding on the boot, as well as our Gore-Tex tag there on the heel. But the very, very obvious stylistic choice that sets this boot apart from anything is the X stitching and the combination of the cowhide with the suede. It just looks so incredibly unique. Now, the way I've been wearing this is mostly to work. I have worn this actually to church, to Palm Sunday, but I did wear jeans. I wore my Flint & Tinder Vidalia Mills jeans, which has been one of the 2 main pairs of pants that I've been wearing the past couple of weeks. I've either really been wearing the Proof 72-hour travel pant or the Flint & Tinder Vidalia Mills selvage jeans. Those are basically the 2 pants that I've been living in for the past couple of weeks. And I will say, this shoe looks better with a jean than a slack. I have worn this with the Flint & Tinder 365 pants as well, and I think it worked better with the 365 pants over the Proof travel pants, but that's because the cut of the Proof. The Proof pants, the travel pants, are an athletic tapered fit, so I feel the ankle doesn't quite go over the top of the boot. Even though this is a chukka style boot and it's very thin, the cut of that pant doesn't kind of drape over the boot top as well as the 365 pants did and the Vidalia Mills jeans did. But overall, I think this boot looks much better with a jean, with a denim pant, as opposed to like a slack or a chino or anything like that. I feel like it's not a super dressy style boot. It's a very casual style boot, and I think it fit much better with a denim look as opposed to a slack look. I also actually put these boots on my scale, and they weigh about 14.5 ounces a piece. So they're actually quite light. They're less than 1 pound per boot. So that's not too bad. So both boots combined, you are coming in at less than 2 pounds, which is, it's really nice because there's a lot going on in this boot here, but they still seem to be, they're still very light. So I think that was helping with me wearing these for 12, 13 hours a day. I wasn't feeling like, even though I feel like they're not a sneaker fit, they don't feel like a boot, and they're definitely much lighter than like a standard boot. So I can wear these for 12 to 13 hours a day without feeling fatigued because they're quite light. This Vibram, or it's Vibram. I always called it Vibram. I've noticed a lot of people are calling it Vibram. I think I have been pronouncing it wrong my entire life. Let me know in the comments down below. But the sole and midsole, it's quite light, so it definitely helps the longevity to wear this thing for an extended period of time without feeling tired or fatigued. Because sometimes a boot, even though it might not be a work boot, it's gonna be a lot heavier because there's a lot more going on. You have your rubber soles, you have leather in the sole. It kind of weighs the boot down, but this is actually quite light, so it fit and felt really, really well comfort-wise and weight-wise, wearing it all day long. So I'd say overall, the fit, feel, and finish of this boot, it's really, really nice. I really liked wearing it. It was it's comfortable to wear all day long. I've been running around in this at shoots out in the city. I've been sitting at my desk. I've been taking the dog for walks. I've been chasing Miss Hazel Fantastic while she's riding her bike in this. I've been in the rain in this. I have not got this completely soaked, but I have been in the rain walking Duke the dog several times in this boot, and I wouldn't say it definitely didn't get saturated. I wasn't soaked, but I stayed dry. But if you're unaware, Gore-Tex is a waterproofing barrier that's sewn in between the boot, in between the liners of the boot, and it prevents the water from coming through. It works. I didn't get wet. Again, I didn't submerge the boot. I didn't do like I did with like my Lems and walk into a lake or walk into a deep puddle. I do intend on actually doing that though. Once we start hiking again here. Also, the dog's nursing an injury, so we have to take it easy for the past couple of weeks while he's healing up. So we haven't been able to really get out and do any walks in the woods. So that's another one of the reasons I haven't taken this off-road really, because I can't really do too much with the dog. I can't stress him out because he's almost healed from an injury and I don't want to overstress him. But casually, to work, grocery shopping, dog walking, daughter chasing, going to dance class, whatever you would think to do in your average everyday life besides walking in the woods, I've basically done in this boot, and it's been very, very comfortable. But it does have some bad, just like every other product in the world. So the only real bad that I can say about this boot is it's not for everyone. The aesthetic of this boot, it's very, very different. So even though I thought this was a very interesting and unique boot, not everyone else is going to agree with me. It does have a very different look than just about any other boot that you can see on the market. So the look and style of this boot alone might chase some people away. Another thing is something that I have already mentioned, and that this boot looks best with jeans. And not everyone is a jeans kind of guy. I love jeans. I wear jeans a lot most of the time. I live in jeans. I lived in jeans for a very long time, but not everybody likes jeans, or not everyone likes a boot that they can't also dress up. So even though I wore this to church, I did wear this to church with jeans, not everyone's going to take that leap and wear this to church because it has this interesting look to it. It stands out in a crowd, and it really looks best with a pair of jeans. So that might be a deal breaker for some people, that because they can't dress this boot up as much as they can maybe a different style of boot, a regular mock toe, they might pass on this on that alone. But let's get to the skinny of it. Do I think that this boot is worth your $220 US? And honestly, I do. I really like the boot. It's very interesting. It's something that I haven't seen before. It's wearing well. It's feeling really good. You can even see the suede. It's kind of taking on some character of its own. You see this is probably the indigo from my jeans, because I have, again, been wearing the Vidalia Mills selvage quite a bit. So you can see like get some indigo spots on the tongue and everything is rubbing off. So it's wearing really, really well. We're getting some light creasing here from me walking around, and there's definitely a little bit of light scuffing on the toe cap from walking and kicking and hitting things. And it is taking on a nice patina of its own, maybe a little bit slower than some of its brothers, but it is taking on quite a nice little patina. It's wearing well. It's made from good materials. Now, also another factor that I think might push some people away is that $220, and it is made in Vietnam. But you know what? That doesn't mean it's not made from a quality factory with quality craftsmen, because this Danner is a Portland company. People would think that Danner boots should be made in Portland, Oregon. Well, some of them are, not all of them. This one happens to be made in Vietnam, but it's still made from good craftsmanship, good quality materials. There's definitely care put into making this boot, and overall, I'm very satisfied with it. It's been wearing really, really well for me, and it was something that I thought was really interesting. I wasn't sure how I was going to wear this or what I was going to wear this with, and honestly, for me, it's worked in just about everything I've tried to do in it and tossed at it. But I wouldn't wear this if I was going out to a nice dinner. I wouldn't wear this boot to that. If I was going to church and I was going to be wearing some slacks, I probably wouldn't wear this. I'd probably put on either a shoe or a different boot that has a little bit dressier look to it. But overall, for me, my lifestyle, it's been fitting in and working out really well for me. It's not going to be for everyone. Again, it's got this interesting style that not everyone's going to dig, but really the quality, the craftsmanship, the materials, the way it's been wearing, the way it's feeling, I'm liking it. Now, it does have Gore-Tex in it, so it's not an insulated boot, but the liner, Gore-Tex is breathable, but personally, I run a bit hot, so sometimes just having a Gore-Tex liner in a boot makes it a little bit too much for me to wear when it gets really hot out. Now, the temperature range that I've had this in was probably in the high 20s to, it was maybe about 60 degrees a couple of the days. And I was completely fine in that temperature range. I think I can comfortably wear this boot up till about 70 degrees. Past that, that's probably where we're gonna start getting humidity. And even though the Gore-Tex is a breathable layer, I feel like for me, I run hot. This might be a little bit too warm. I am gonna give it a test run this summer and see if I can wear it. I'm gonna take this camping with me. We're going camping in like a month or two, so I can take this as my camp boot and see how it wears. I'm gonna try to walk into the lake with this and see how long my feet stay dry and see if the Gore-Tex works and how they fit and feel and what they look like after they're completely submerged and soaked. And another thing you're gonna get for that $220 price point is this interesting boot that is limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. You're not gonna be able to get it again unless you buy it on the used market. It's not gonna be made again. So at the time of filming, it is still available in all sizes at the Huckberry site. So if you wanted to go, and if you're thinking about it, I'd say maybe jump on it sooner rather than later. The Logger Moc did kind of go out in a hurry, so the Mountain Moc might follow that same trajectory. So, you know, one of the other benefits of getting this boot is that it's probably never going to be made again, and it's very interesting. So you're going to have a unique piece of footwear that you can wear that no one else is going to be able to get. So overall, I'm pleased with it. I think it's worth the $220 price point. I'm going to try wearing this in a few other scenarios. I'm going to see how this wears for me in the heat. I run hot, so sometimes even just having that Gore-Tex layer is a little bit too much for me to wear a boot in the summer. Sometimes I wear a thinner boot, or I wear trail runners and stuff in the summer when I hike, because sometimes wearing a boot is just too much. I just get too hot. But I'm going to try to wear these in the summer, see how they feel, see how they fit. Take these on a camping trip in a couple of months, see how they wear, see how they wet out, if they wet out at all, and gonna throw them through a few other paces. But thus far, very satisfied with this boot. So I'm very, very happy with my Huckberry Danner Mountain Moc 917 boots. And yeah, I think if you were looking at them, interested in them, and the style alone isn't turning you away, give them a shot. They're very comfortable, and it's a very unique and interesting boot to have in your collection. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.